Christianity is just a scam to make money. Now, I've heard this a couple of times, phrased in different ways, and to be honest, I do get it. I really understand why someone might say something like that. If you look around at the world and you look at some churches that have the Christian label, or some people calling themselves pastors in a Christian sense, and you look at the way that they're living, or you look at what the church is really all about, it does seem like they are just all about getting your money. It seems like that's really all they're after, amassing wealth, cars, jets, all the kind of stuff you might see in the news. So I do understand that. But I think when it comes to criticizing or critiquing any kind of religion or worldview or even ideology, what we need to do is critique it based on its legitimate teaching and the outworking of that, not on its distortions. And I would say when you see a church or a pastor who claims to be Christian and they are acting in that way, trying to, just get someone's money, well, that's a distortion. So the question is then, well, what is the legitimate teaching and what is the legitimate outworking of what Christianity is? And the best place to go for that is looking at the person of Jesus Christ. Jesus taught a radical message of love and forgiveness and uplifting those in poverty, uplifting the poor. And so that was the way that the early church saw his teaching. And if you look at the teaching and the way that the early apostles lived, looking at something like the book of Acts in the Bible, you see that the church came together in love and close community, and they helped those in need. The Bible tells us that they had all things in common, where they were helping those who had maybe fallen on hard times, and they supported and loved one another. And when you look at the church through the ages that has consistently looked at that teaching of Jesus and the example of the apostles, they have really lived in that way too. We see churches that have gone into areas that are absolutely rife with poverty and oppression, and they go in and they've made churches, they've made schools, they've made hospitals, and they've had upliftment schemes to really help those in poverty. And when you look at the broad picture of the church through the ages, that is something that you see consistently, and that aligns us with the clear teaching of Jesus and his early followers. So, the clear teaching of the Bible, the clear teaching of Christianity, the clear teaching of Jesus is not one of trying to get money and amass wealth. Christianity is not a scam to make money, not at all. On the other hand, as an aside, if there is no God, and if Jesus' teaching is just kind of made up and not really legitimate, then I think we lose any kind of foundation for these good moral things that we like and that we see and that our hearts yearn for, like, helping those in poverty, lifting the poor up and helping each other, right? And that's because, well, without God, we lose any kind of real moral framework. And so therefore, there's no obligation on any of us to help those in need around us. It's really just survival of the fittest. That's the only game in town if there is no God. But I don't believe that's true at all. I think God is real. He has revealed himself to us, and most particularly in the person of Jesus Christ, stepping into the world to show us the way to live. And that is a message of radical love and helping those in need and uplifting them, because all people are made in the image of God. They are special creations of God, and he seeks them and he loves them. And so no, Christianity is not a scam to make money. It is something far, far richer than that.